Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular council meeting of May 29th. I'll call the meeting to order, and first of all, we have presentations on the community mailbox presentation from CUPW. So please, ladies, whoever would like to.
Good evening. My name is Carrie Arnott-Thirsk. I live in Weyburn and work there as well. And tonight I'm here on behalf of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers. I'd like to offer our many thanks to the Mayor and City Council for this opportunity. Each of you will have received a kit, like the one I have, containing information related to the many aspects of Canada's public post office. We are here today hoping for the support of Council to protect services in your community, and to draw your attention to the recommendations from the Canada-wide Postal Review conducted by the Standing Committee on Government Operations and Estimates. We want to thank the City Council of Estevan for its support throughout the Save Door-to-Door campaign. We know that members of the public have provided previous written support in the fight against the loss of door-to-door delivery. Despite all the previous efforts made in the community of Estevan, Canada Post continued with the conversion to the self-serving model. On August 17, 2015, Canada Post converted the City of Estevan to the self-serve mailbox model. In a local media release on August 26, 2015, residents were quoted as saying, "There has been a serious lack of communication. The public addressed concerns with the mailboxes being on their property, as well as in unsafe locations." In an article located in the Estevan Mercury News on November 4, 2015, it stated, and I quote, "The conversion process was met with criticism locally. Not only were some people flustered with the loss of door-to-door delivery, but there were also concerns with the locations of the mailboxes. Some were upset to have the mailboxes in their yard. Others were concerned with safety issues since the mailboxes were located on busy roads. This conversion reduced service standards, eliminated 3 full-time jobs here in Estevan, and has had a negative impact on seniors and those with mobility issues. I would like to draw your attention to the recommendation number 23 of the report titled The Way Forward. The Standing Committee calls for Canada Post to continue the moratorium on community mailbox conversion and develop a plan to reinstate door-to-door delivery to communities that were converted after the 3rd of August, 2015. So after months of public consultation with testimony from seniors groups, community organizations, the public, and testimony from the Council of Canadians with Disabilities, the Standing Committee identified that the impact to these groups with regards to the loss of door-to-door delivery was profound. The conversion from home mail delivery has created difficulties for many seniors and people with mobility issues or disabilities to obtain their mail. It has also resulted in an increase in the number of people who experience severe injuries as a result of slips and falls, which have occurred while attempting to access mail at community mailboxes. Slips and falls of seniors are a very serious problem in Canada. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related hospitalizations among Canadian seniors. Between 20 and 30% of seniors fall each year. Falls and associated outcomes not only harm the injured individuals, but also affect families, friends, care providers, and our healthcare system. An independent, non-biased polling company, Strathcom, indicated that 21.3% of respondents reported experiencing an accident, such as a slip or fall, either at a community mailbox or going to and from the mailbox. 8.5% of the group required medical attention. The universities of Saskatchewan, Waterloo, and Carleton are all conducting similar studies related to hospitalizations from injuries while collecting mail from a community mailbox. Angus Reid has also polled thousands of Canadians who are in support of restoring door-to-door delivery. Since the election of 2015, when a majority Liberal government was elected, as promised, an immediate moratorium was placed on the conversion of community mailboxes and a full review of the public post office began. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers agreed that door-to-door delivery should be reinstated, as do the majority of Canadians. There remains a small window before the decision of the federal government is released. Minister Foote announced that we should see that decision this spring sometime. City Council has a wonderful opportunity to be leaders in the quest for these services. Spiritwood, Wadena, and Prince Albert, Saskatchewan have all sent resolutions in the last couple of weeks. So tonight I'm asking that City Council follow the steps of your fellow communities and move a motion to send a resolution to Minister Judy Foote calling the federal government to accept a recommendation of the Standing Committee on Government Operations and Estimates. And in addition to that, we're requesting for the reinstatement of door-to-door delivery in the city of Estevan, as well as to remain protected by the moratorium on post office closures. Countless cities, towns, and municipalities will be visited by CUPW representatives like myself over the coming weeks to request that city councils make a motion to send a letter of support to Minister Judy Foote. I'd like to thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them.
Okay, thank you so much for that presentation, Carrie. Do we have any questions from members of council? None this evening? Okay, well, thank you all so much, ladies, for coming this evening. We very much appreciate that. Okay. Thank you.
Can I just ask when you would discuss this and when we might be able to have an answer from you?
I think, Carrie, we'll have enough time this evening.
Okay.
We'll discuss it, and then we can get back to you probably tomorrow.
Wonderful. I appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah,
thanks.
No problem. Thank you. And you ladies are more than welcome to stay. I always ask everyone, no one does, but again, you're more than welcome to stay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay, moving forward, could I have a motion, please, to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Broba, seconded by Councillor Moore. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, could I have a motion, please, for the minutes of the council meeting held on May 15th, 2017? Thank you. Councillor Yanish, seconded. And your name, sir?
Councillor Nibbs.
Oh, thank you.
I've been here for a while, I know you forget.
Thank you, Councillor Nibbs. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have from Mr. Kyle Whitehead of the ECS Band a request for the rental of Affinity Place. I'll just quickly go over it. The band program at the Estevan Comp School has been a staple in the community for many years. The students of the program, through the Music Parents Association, hold many fundraising events throughout the year to cover the costs for travel with the band across Canada and the U.S. This year we have decided on a large-scale style fundraising event to happen late August or early September to help offset the cost of these trips for students. So basically they'd like to have a big event instead of the parents pounding the pavement and having smaller events. If it's possible, we'd like to waive the fees for Affinity Place, and also that we be allowed to supply our own meal and run our own bar. If this is possible, we would in return list the City of Estevan as a gold sponsor, and you would receive the gold sponsor package as listed below. We are looking for sponsorship to get this initial event off the ground, with the hope that this event will become self-sustaining and generate enough funding to help the band students cover a large portion of their tours in the upcoming years. And then it goes on to state the following sponsorship levels. So I look forward to discussing this exciting new event with you, and am excited to partner with you for our first annual Bands and Barbecue event. Kyle Whitehead. So what's the wish of council? Councillor Nibbs, please.
I guess my only question, we went over this over and over and over, and as much as we'd like to give it to everybody, we've kind of went over this and set the standard, I do believe, at the reduced rate for, would they fall into the reduced rate? Is it
Yes.
$1,250 or whatever?
Yes, they would, although if you read, here it is, yeah. If you read with the ice in, and the ice would be in then, The nonprofit rental rate is $1,379 a day. Councillor Nibbs, the setup and tear down, $2,673.50. Install floor over the ice, $2,673.50 for a total rental fee of $6,726. Thank you, City Clerk.
And that is our knockdown bare bones price, right?
Yeah, you see, part of the problem, we have the setup and tear down because we have to take the glass down and then we have to put the floor in. So that's the extra labor costs.
Is there any chance they can maybe move that to something beforehand when the ice
Well,
is
I'm
out?
just wondering if there's not maybe a different venue we could look at, maybe one of our other facilities. And I would like to think, since they're asking this in the fall, if maybe we could all put our heads together and work with them on this and maybe look at different venues. Go ahead.
That was my
Councillor
thought
Hopper.
exactly. Could they move this to July to have it before
The ice goes in.
the ice? And I'm not sure what their event is. I don't think it says, but that would be it. Can we do it before we put the ice in?
Exactly. Councillor Frank?
That was going to be my exact question, just with the flooring that we have. I know we've had issues in the past with it heaving and stuff, so I'm wondering if that's the right
That's
time.
correct.
The only thing I'd wonder is if, although they're saying late August, early September, is that going to affect the school year? But they must already be thinking before the school year if they're saying August anyways, I'm assuming, but
Yeah.
we should find that out.
Yeah, all very good points. So maybe if we could table this for now with the intention of getting together with them and having more discussion and hopefully finding some options that would work, because I think it's a very good idea.
That would be good. Would be able to invite him, Kyle,
And
to
that's
the
even
meeting.
a better idea, Councillor Frank. Sure. Let's invite him to come in an open meeting and we can discuss further. Councillor Hopper?
Your worship, they also ask to be able to supply their own food and bar, and with the new changes, that is entirely possible.
Absolutely correct. And I know Kyle does that, and he does a fantastic job. So that would be an opportunity for them to make even more money. Yeah. So could we perhaps maybe have a motion to invite Kyle and his delegation to a future meeting, and then in the interim, we'll get different ideas together. Thank you, Councillor Frank, seconded by Councillor Moore. Any further questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have Reagan's cart report for April. Could we have a motion, please, to accept that as presented? Thank you, Councillor Broba. Seconded by Councillor Yanish. Thank you. Any further questions or comments? It's very self-explanatory. If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, next, under written reports of committees, we have the Souris Valley Museum minutes of May 17th, 2017. Could we have a motion, please, for these minutes? Thank you. Councillor Yanish, seconded by Councillor Nibbs. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Carried. And would our member on the board like to add anything to this, or?
They had their grand reopening again on the weekend, and they had a chili cook-off, and it was well attended at the beginning. I had to run to another function right after too. But if you get a minute, please take the time to stop into the Souris Valley Museum out on the highway. It's got a lot of neat artifacts in there from the local area. So please take some time and stop in and have a look around.
And thank you, Councillor Yanish, for attending. Appreciate that. And the chili was good. Did you have time to taste it? No? Okay. Okay, awesome. So moving forward, under executive reports, we have the engineering tender, additional work on King Street that we discussed, and Kafloon was here last meeting, Arthur Avenue to Bannatyne Avenue. Could we have a motion, first of all, to accept this report, and then we'll have some discussion on it. Councillor Vrova, thank you. Have we got a seconder? Thank you. Councillor Nibbs. Okay, let's have some discussion. Members of council, you've got the report before you. The recommendations as per the direction of the council at the regular council meeting of May 15th indicated below. Please find the estimate to complete the proposed work. And we had a motion at the previous meeting that, and I think this is a misnomer, City Clerk. I don't think it's concrete rehabilitation unless they're meaning the curbs, but it was more asphalt, probably rehabilitation, be continued from Bannatyne Avenue to Pine Avenue for up to $100,000 to fully complete the roadways. And then, based on the estimate provided by Souris Valley Paving, the proposed additional work is estimated at $124,150. Now, Kafloum thought he could do it for 100, but it's a little bit more, $24,150. So I'll just ask what the wish of council. Go ahead, Councillor Yanish.
Thank you, Your Worship. I know Jeff's not here today, but do we have any extra money to cover the 24,000 to pay for it?
Yes, I believe we do. Oh,
So
go
I've been
ahead.
working
Yeah.
with all those numbers. The one unknown now is that we have to cover some of the PST on those things.
Right.
And on $1 million, that's like $60,000. So I have got a thing in for the Glenn Peterson part, trying to get us that we're registered so we do not have to pay that PSD.
Good.
So that would save us 30. But I just caution you guys, like, I would rather wait till all these numbers are in, because there's hydrovac expenses that I've been getting like $12,000 of that. And then once we're done, then we decide. I know this decision will be made if we have enough money, right? Right now, it looks like it's going to be really close, but I always like to err on the side of caution.
Okay, so perhaps by next meeting, we should have all them numbers?
Hopefully they give, like even I asked Kiflom today, could Glenn Peterson give us a final bill? Well, they may run into something as they're going along, right?
Right.
So it would be nice if the estimate that they gave us was what the bill was, but like a piece of road might be worse underneath once they open it up.
Exactly.
So I like to just err, but I'm keeping up to date, so next time I will let you know exactly. Right now, we only have $12,000 actual expenses in there, but
Okay, thank you,
big
Trudy.
bills, yes.
And with your discussions with Kafloum, is he okay if we wait till the next meeting?
yes, we
Awesome.
just had that discussion. He definitely is okay with that.
Okay, good. Okay, go ahead, Councillor
Yeah,
Huff.
thank you, Your Worship. I was just wondering where the change came from. I thought the engineer did tell us about $100,000, and
He did
it's
seem
not
pretty
a 5%
confident.
change, that's a 25% change, and just wondered where did that change come from?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I'm thinking Councillor Hoffert will probably have Kafloum to explain that at the next meeting before we pass any adjustments.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Councillor Moore.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I too wonder, are we just accepting this 124? Are we playing it against anybody else? Or not being in any of the negotiations myself, are we trying to get a better price? Can we get a comparable? I guess what I would want to compare it to is your everyday fixing on the streets for sewer breaks, or by the square foot or something. But I think too often we're just saying, yeah, okay, let's accept this. But I would like to see somebody else maybe bid on it. I don't care who it is, but from last meeting, there was quite a difference on a piece of road that we were going to do. So I'm guessing the same thing would happen here. So unless you can prove to me that this is the bottom best price for the times that we're dealing with right now, I'm a little doubtful. I'd want to see something that says, you know what, this is a really good deal.
Okay, thank you for that, Councillor Moore. And I think for next meeting, with Trudy's suggestion of waiting, we can make sure that we have all those numbers. We'll have Kafloum here as well, so he can explain to everybody how these numbers were arrived at.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can make an informed decision.
Because I think it's too much of a difference.
Okay.
We can't live on those kind of numbers when there can be that much of an increase without anybody telling us what's going on, so.
Okay, and we'll have that information. We'll wait now. Hopefully, if council agrees, we'll pass the acceptance of this report. And then I would expect another report that we wait until the following meeting, have Kafloum here, get all the answers, and then make that decision.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, could I have an acceptance of the report, please? All in favor? Thank you. Do we now have a motion to wait until the next open meeting? Thank you, Councillor Yanish. Have we got a seconder? Councillor Vrova, thank you. Any further questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under executive reports, we have the fire reports for April 2017. Again, fairly self-explanatory. Could I have a motion, please, for those? Councillor Hoffert, thank you. Seconded. Councillor Nibs. Any further questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you, Councillor Hoffert. Let it be noted, Councillor Hoffert has left the chambers declaring a conflict of interest. Next, under introduction of bylaws, we have bylaw 2017-1987 to amend the health levy bylaw 2017-1981, first reading. Could I have a motion for first reading, please? Thank you. Councillor Moore, seconded by Councillor Nibs. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, I'll ask for the second reading of bylaw 2017-1987, about bylaw in the City of Estevan to amend bylaw 2017-1981 in the province of Saskatchewan to provide for a special tax for regional health care in the City of Estevan. Thank you. Councillor Yanish, seconded. Thank you, Councillor Nibs. Any further questions at this point? If not, all in favor? Carried. Okay, now could I have a motion that referral of bylaw 2017-1987 to council in committee for study be waived this evening? Councillor Moore, seconded. Councillor Frank, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, could I have a motion, please, that bylaw 2017-1987 be given 3 readings at this meeting? Councillor Vroba, seconded. Councillor Yanish, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. And finally, could I have a motion, please, that bylaw 2017-1987 be taken as given third and final reading, approved and adopted for use for the City of Estevan? Thank you, Councillor Yanish. Seconded. Councillor Nibs, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Councillor Yanish, or okay, Councillor Nibs, sure, if you don't mind. Thank you. Allowing Councillor Hoffert back in. Please let it be noted that Councillor Hoffert has again rejoined us in chambers. Okay. So next, under public hearings and reports, we have none this evening. Under giving notice, could I have a motion, please, for the proclamation for recreation and parks for the month of June, and then I'll read it out. Councillor Vroba, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Moore. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Proclamation. In Saskatchewan, we are fortunate to have a variety of recreation and park systems providing countless recreational opportunities for residents and visitors from around the world. And whereas recreation enhances quality of life, active living, and lifelong learning, helps people live happier and longer, develops skills and positive self-image in children and youth, develops creativity and builds healthy bodies and positive lifestyles. And whereas recreation participation builds family unity and social capital, strengthens volunteer and community development, enhances social interaction, creates community pride and vitality, promotes sensitivity and understanding to cultural diversity. And whereas recreation, therapeutic recreation, and leisure education are essential to the rehabilitation of individuals who have become ill or disabled or disadvantaged, or who have demonstrated antisocial behavior, and whereas the benefits provided by recreation and parks programs and services reduce healthcare and social service costs, serve to boost the economy, economic renewal and sustainability, enhance property values, attract new business, increase tourism, and curb employee absenteeism. And whereas our parks, open spaces, and trails ensure ecological sustainability, provide space to enjoy nature, help maintain clear air and water, and preserve plant and animal wildlife, And whereas all levels of government, the voluntary sector, and private enterprise throughout the province participate in the planning, development, and operation of recreation and parks programs, services, and facilities. Now, therefore, that the Saskatchewan Parks and Recreation Association, SPRA, does hereby proclaim that June, which witnesses the greening of Saskatchewan and serves as a significant gateway to family activities, has been designated as June is Recreation and Parks Month, which will annually recognize and celebrate the benefits derived year-round from quality public and private recreation and parks resources at the local, regional, and provincial levels. Be it therefore resolved, I, Roy Ludwig, Mayor of the City of Estevan, in recognition of the benefits and values that recreation, parks, and leisure services provide, do hereby designate the month of June 2017 to be June is Recreation and Parks Month in the City of Estevan. Wow, that was wordy. I'll have to talk to Rod about that if we can't cut that back for next year, but that was very well done. So next, motions from committee this evening. We have none. Consideration of bylaws. We have bylaw 2017-1986 to fix the taxation rate for 2017. We've given first reading. We've advertised for the prerequisite 2 weeks. City Clerk, have we had any information back?
No comments from the public, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we'll be ready to pass second and third reading of bylaw 2017-1986 to fix the taxation for 2017. Councillor Hoffert, have we got a seconder? Councillor Moore? Okay, this is second reading, so any further questions or comments? Okay, if not, all in favor? Carried, thank you very much. Now could we have a motion for third reading to be approved and adopted for use by the City of Estevan? Thank you. Councillor Broba? Councillor Frank? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Next, we'll move to inquiries. Councillor Hoffert, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. In discussion with the taxpayer today, I have a thought for an inquiry I'd like to make of the city manager and Trudy perhaps. And that is to have some comparison data between us and some of the other cities, perhaps Estevan. Comparison data between us and the other cities, perhaps or in addition to our own city, Weyburn, Yorkton, North Battleford, cities of similar size. Things like what their mill rate is now presently, what their mill rate increase was, and further to that, what they're using their tax levy on. So annually, the city manager will prepare a document with the pie chart and indicate what portion of your tax dollar goes to administration, what portion goes to fire, police, administration, different aspects of the city. And that's a great bit of information, but I'd like to know how our pie compares to the other pies in the other cities and what they're spending their money on. Okay. So if 20% of our tax dollar is being spent on recreation, I wonder what it is in Weyburn and Yorkton and the others. So that would be my inquiry, if we could have a report based on that. And the other thing I just wanted to mention is it's certainly not one of the committees I'm on or any of council is on, but I've been fortunate to attend a couple of the races at the Speedway this year, and just wanted to comment on what a great night of entertainment that is. It's such a well-run production. For some who may have been there early on in the years, it's really worth checking out again. It's just a wonderful night of entertainment in a well-run manner, and I'd encourage all of our citizens to give it a look.
Okay, thank you for that, Councillor Hoffert, and you make a very good point. I must admit, I haven't been out this year, but anytime I go, it's very worthwhile, and they absolutely have that nailed down pat. It's great entertainment. They do a very good job. Councillor Vrova?
Thank you, Your Worship. One lady actually asked me this week regarding our plants that we're going to be planting in our planters. Mm-hmm. I know we have the new planter that will be going up on King Street with Kohali, and those were the donated bricks that we received. And so she's asking if there's going to be a thought process put into perennials versus annuals.
That's a very good question. I know we leave that, Councillor Vroba, up to Rod, who has many years' experience and is a agriculturist. But that's a fair question, and I
Yeah.
know people have been asking that.
And
So
if we
we'll
could
find
just,
that out.
yeah, even if we could just get the answer as to why. I know he's
Okay.
very educated that way, and I
Yes,
trust
he
his
is.
decision-making skills.
Yeah.
But I think we need to get it out to the public as to why we choose the annuals versus the perennials.
Okay.
It could be the dirt, it could be, how much dirt is in that area, I know.
No, that's a
But
very good
I also
question.
had another inquiry regarding, people are curious about a clothesline bylaw. They're saying that there are people out there that are being stopped from hanging their clothes. They're actually saying our bylaw officer has gone in and stopped these people from drying their clothes. I think it's an urban legend. There's no bylaw in place. So if you hear that, feel free to call us if you've had any concern with your clothesline. But as of right now, there's been no actual complaints. It's just rumor. So
Councillor Vroba, were they suggesting we were airing our dirty laundry?
that may have been. I just wanted to put it out there that please continue to dry your clothes on your clothesline.
Okay, thank you for that. And thank you also for making the point that those bricks were donated, and we very much appreciate that. Thank you. Councillor Yanish?
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, Councillor Vroba, I was questioned about the dirty laundry thing too. Well, it'd be clean laundry on the line, though. It'd be clean laundry. Facebook official isn't always true. Everybody remember that.
Yes, thank you for that
And I
comment.
did attend another event on Saturday, and that was the police children's bike rodeo. Very well attended by the citizens of Estevan. We have a new dog, and it was named on Saturday officially Max. So he is up in training in Regina, back and forth. Be a few more months now until he's ready to walk the beat. We barbecued hamburgers and hot dogs and gave some of that away, so I helped do that too. So
Yeah, so thank you very much for attending, Councillor Yanish. We absolutely appreciate that, and we welcome Max to our city, and we know he'll be a very worthwhile addition. Thank you. Trudy, did you have anything? Okay. Just before I round the corner, so Robert doesn't have to move the camera again. Councillor Frank, please.
Nothing major this evening. I just wanted to thank everybody who came out to the United Way's Day of Caring this past week. They had the most volunteers ever and the most projects ever, which is fantastic. And just a great way for citizens to give back to the community. It was amazing. So
Thank you
I just
so much
returned
for
from
that.
holidays, so I missed. But
Okay, thank you, Councillor Frank. But you're on that board, as is Councillor Broba. You both do a great job on there. We appreciate the work you do, and we thank our public for attending out in mass. It's absolutely one of the best things we do within the city, and it's well received. Thank you for that. Go ahead, Councillor Dapes.
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
I got nothing.
You looked a bit suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Moore, please.
Thank you, Worship. I was pleased to fill in for you on Sunday at the MS Walk. And I learned a lot in the couple hours that I was there. It is a very devastating disease, and it certainly affects every age. And the people that I met, I found were very bubbly and very up with, even though they had the problem. And what I noticed is what support they get from their loved ones and their family. And I believe it makes a really big difference when they have support from friends and family, because everybody seemed pretty pumped about what was going on that day. And it's something that for sure should continue. And let's hope that they raise the funds they need to try and put the stop to this disease that just can attack you at any stage of your life. So very worthwhile event, and I give the Pleasantdale School full points for continue to put it on, and the young people that work up front to make sure that there's an attendance and the program is in place. Again, the food supply people that put the lunch up, and it's just a really good event, so I thank you for that.
Okay, thank you so much, Councillor Moore, for attending. And yeah, I think attitude has a lot to do with that. A lot of these people, they're battling with very serious diseases, and their attitude is excellent. It means so much. So thank you again for that. City Clerk, did you have anything to say this evening? Or to speak on? Okay, thank you. If not, then I guess could I have a motion, please, to move into committee? Thank you, Councillor Hoffert, seconded by Councillor Broba. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Good evening and good night.